Good afternoon. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. So it's Wednesday. The Fed is done. It's behind us. Some people are trying to debate whether they were dovish, whether they were hawkish. They were probably like neutral to a tiny bit hawkish. So my playbook was try and be long some banks. They've been out of play as most of the earnings are behind us. So maybe there's a trade there. They did perk up a little bit. I'm not sure, if they're going to get going. I guess we'll have to see it on Friday what kind of jobs report we have. If we get another stinker below 100,000 or we get a normal one, which could help the cause. As far as the S&P cash and the spiders, it's definitely hard to tell. You look here at the chart, we've been in this range now for almost, 6-7 sessions, maybe even more. So, if you happen to have not been long into the French elections, it was hard to make much money if you were trying to be in the indices. Okay, here was your first gap. This one actually held. And this one, you got a little bit of a red dog reversal. What's a red dog reversal? It went below 23.81 to as low as 23.79, and then came back above it. So I am in the spiders, and I'm trying to stick around. It doesn't look powerful, and there's definitely some vulnerabilities, but I'm still trying to give this bull a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. So here you are, juggling with the 8-day. We'll see what's happening here next. Today's low is 37.70. It came off it. We'll see what's next. The IWM was definitely weaker, but it tends to just mess everybody up. So anyway, it squeezed some shorts through the top here, and then once it got back below, okay, this prior low here, most active traders would have gotten out. This is 140.48. That was below a prior low, filled this gap, showed you that the power wasn't there, or at least I think it could be choppier. So now it's coming into an interesting spot where this is where it broke out from, right here. And, now you've filled the gap, so we'll see what happens here next. Maybe tomorrow we get a red dog reversal. If it goes much below this, I don't know what to tell you. All of a sudden, a real roll down could happen. But from here to here, this is about the 50% retracement. This spot needs to hold. Okay, as far as the banks, talked about it in the Morning Call Express. They perked up. They closed pretty well. Okay, there's your nice little day one candle holding this spot on a macro level. This spot held, so we'll see if this gives us more power towards the 50-day, and maybe next time we get to the 50-day, which has been rejected, maybe it gets reclaimed, and that could help the market. I came in long BAC, and I actually added a little bit more. It's not a barn burner, but I said if it could hold this 23.30. Okay, I'll add some, and it'll close with a decent bar here, so we'll see what that leads to. I'm also in a little bit of JP Morgan, so I'm in some banks. I rotated there today. I've been really active in tech, and now I'm in some banks trying to see if they can play some catch up. This JP Morgan was powerful, but you do have a day one turn up, so if you sold some strength into the 50-day, you try and buy some back, and in this Goldman as well. Okay, Goldman actually looks like it's trying to do a little bit of like an inverse head and shoulders pattern now, where you now have this pattern where if it wanted to get going a little bit, perhaps it could take this out and then give you a move back up to there. So those are just tradable patterns. If you've been following me, I've been trying to be in BABA for the last few months. I've been in Apple before the earnings, Amazon here and there, Google here and there, and then right around earnings time, I try and do options, or I trade them after the print, or I say, okay, let me give them time now. Everything seems a little skewed differently. Today, tech did feel weaker. In the Morning Call Express, I talked about 144.50. In my note also, there's a spot that could be a good one to look at to buy, and that's exactly where it hit. Why did I pick that spot? This is pretty much where it broke out from. Okay, gave you a nice trade off for that. So now a little bit of work over here, and it'll show that it could absorb underwhelming earnings. Watch out for Cramer's interview, and also watch out. There was a little bit of a something popped up with Qualcomm saying they want to stop them from selling iPhones, but I doubt it. But anyway, I could see some time here. I wouldn't be chasing strength in Apple, even though this is not the high, in my humble opinion, of the year, and it held in very well today. Amazon a little wishy-washy. Why is it wishy-washy? Yeah, it's not really wishy-washy. Just was a little weaker than other things. Did come off the lows. We'll see what happens here. We have a new point of reference, which is right there. I had it yesterday. I actually got stopped out. 935 is your new point of reference. If it were to go, stay above this tomorrow, maybe in a few sessions it takes this out. There was some talk about AWS decline in pricing, or they're bringing down their pricing. We'll see what the analysts say about the margins, and we'll see what's next, but I don't have a long overnight this time. The one to trade was Google. it's acted better since earnings. Basically, you had this earnings candle, and then you had your red dog reversal to enter. That entry was 923 versus low, 3-point risk. Now it's at 944, so that's 20 points higher. Usually, if you buy here, you take a third and then you trade it, and if you've been trading it, it's been doing much better. At this point, maybe you have a third left. We'll see how it deals with Facebook. Facebook came out with earnings. Let's see what they're doing. I saw that they came out with a big revenue beat, but now they're saying they're not doing, gap reporting anymore, which people might get a little upset about. It's only down 79 cents. So Facebook, kind of like an Apple, has come a long way. My humble opinion, I think it needs time. A lot of these tech stocks are going to need time now to just catch their breath. I think this, is just as low as the 8-day after hours, and now it's only down a little bit. So we'll see what happens here tomorrow. I would wait till tomorrow to revisit it unless you're trading it after hours. And if you think it's going to go again, just be careful. It's got to get above this 153.60 and stay above it. If not, let it rebuild. It usually sells down a little bit after earnings. And lastly, Tesla, before I have to jump, is pulled in, from what's it called, from the highs here. I have no position in Tesla. I'm thinking that, let's see how it handles the 8-day, maybe soon. I talked about buying it before a binary event here, or when when this trade broke out from this descending channel. So up here, it's going to be a little bit choppier, especially considering that the high valuation's there, and they're not crushing it right now, but they're still building their concept play as far as deliveries, their X3, whatever you want to call it. At this point, it's been up or down a few bucks. I would just wait till tomorrow, and we did no option play because I figured the premiums would be too high and would get sucked out. 18 bucks is too much. So with all that said, it feels like the market's trying to hang in there, but under the surface is some weakness. As much as I think we're going to hit 2,400 or more, it's been harder than the last few days to sit in these indices. Each sector has had divergences, and at this point, it's hard to tell. I am long the banks. Today, they acted well. I haven't been really that involved until today was my biggest position. So we'll see if we get some follow through tomorrow. I'm also long a little bit of the spiders, and at this point, I'm a little lighter on tech besides some leftover options that I've been trimming and selling as some of these things have popped up. So at this point, I'll see you at the Morning Call Express. Tomorrow's Thursday, Friday with the jobs number. Hopefully you're doing well. The new format, if you want my intraday updates, meaning from like 9:30 to 4 all day long like I used to, that's on Redler All Access. I apologize, it's a new policy here at T3. But you do have the Morning Call Express and the recap where I try and go over the thinking. And if you want the nuts and bolts, look into how much the new product costs. Have a good one.